Hi guys and welcome along to this end of season squad report for the hashtag United Save. There won't be any action in this one, we are just literally going to take a look at the players in the first team and the youth academy so you can see how they have progressed throughout the first season and perhaps where we need to develop things as we head towards League One in season 2. Now if you did miss the drama of the last episode, link will be in the eye in the corner right now and be sure not to miss that episode as we managed to get ourselves promoted through the playoffs. So let's take a look at the first team. Okay, so we'll start things off here with Scott Hargis. He came in at the back end of the season and unfortunately we hadn't got many games that we could get him out in because we just wanted to really get those results under our belt in the back end of the season. 48 overall now, having gone up by 2. And we'll hopefully get him some game time next season, even if that means we end up loaning him out. But because Jamie Jackson is retiring at the end of the season, that does mean that Hargis actually will be the second string keeper, unless of course we bring somebody else through from the youth academy. On top of that, Page is actually 2 overall less than Hargis. However, Page has been absolutely astounding this season, gone up by 4 overall. And to be honest, Hargis is going to have to do an amazing job to dislodge Anthony Page because he has been mega this season. I don't really want to artificially grow any players if I'm honest, but if there was one player in this team that I think deserves a better rating, it would be Anthony Page. Next up we got Ross Glead filling in at left back for most of the season, has gone up to 47 now, gone up by 3 this season and actually was the better of the 2 left backs that we had for the season. The other being Jamie Hersey, who has gone up by 4 overall to a 48 but didn't have the kind of performances that Glead had at left back. Then we got the man that came in at the start of the season, Ashley Williams, a free agent that we managed to grab. Has gone down by 4 because of his age. He's now 36 and 65 overall, so we will have to start to look for a replacement. But with that in mind, Singano has actually been mega this season. Started off at 41 overall, up to 47, and he has now paired himself with Williams and probably will do for at least the opening phase of next season whilst we're looking for a replacement for Ashley Williams. Got Ryan Cosson on the book still. He is 46 overall, has gone up by 3 this season and will probably become the naturalised backup in place of Simon Peddy, who is retiring at the end of the season, 39 years of age, has gone down by 7 overall. Was really good at the start of the season, but as things progressed, Singano took over and has, accelerated away from Peddy, which is to be expected when you've got a player of Peddy's age still playing in FIFA. Next up we've got Rhino Raw, 44 overall, hasn't had any growth etc, but was injured for a serious amount of time at the opening stage of the season, and that really did mean that he didn't get a look in, and I will try to give him more game time next season, obviously in rotation with Singano and Cosson. And then we have Jack Harrison, again 36 years of age, so has started to decline quite rapidly, 37 overall now, lost 5 this season, and he is still a really good player even though he does have that low rating. Louis Bergen, we did move him to the right back position, has gone up to 41 as a result of that and some growth throughout the season, but hasn't really broken into the first team. I might even look to get him a loan next season just to try to give him some more game time, because I do think that he has quite a bit of potential going into the future. He's a really good player when you've got him on the ball. Having said that, our main right back for the season has been Reece Hewitt, a natural left back but can fill in at right back. He's gone up by 6 overall this season and is actually one of our higher rated overall players with a 51. Then we've got Matt Carter. He will be leaving the team when the transfer window opens. He's going to Cork City as we have sold him on. Next up we've got a player that has been absolutely gigantic for us this season. Captain Tom Anderson, 48 overall, gone up by 2. He's 30 years of age now, so he's going to start to decline based on the way that FIFA operates. We might still be able to guide that overall up a little bit because of dynamic potential, but to be honest, I don't think it will make too much of a difference. Ando is just one of those players that is exceptionally good on the ball and is very good at defending from that central defensive midfield role. And that can be said as well for Chris Newby, because even though he's a little bit older and his overall is less, he can still do a job from the bench, as he has done on many occasions to fill in for Anderson this season. So, Sam Biles also in the same sort of mould, now up to 49 overall, having grown by 5 this season, and has been pretty decent for the team. Lee Hersey played a lot of the opening phase of the season in the midfield area, but we obviously have had some extra personnel arrive, and that has limited Hersey's game time towards the back end of the season, but still think he's got a place here at hashtag 49 overall, gone up by 5 this season. Then we move on to a player that has been really very good for us this season. Fortunately, he got that injury which has put him out for a long time, but Walla Lassen at 49 overall has gone up by 2 and was awesome for us when he was playing. Then we got Kundal, who we bought in, 58 overall, gone up by 2, and obviously on loan from the Wolves at the moment. Will be sticking around for the foreseeable because we've got him on that loan to buy deal, so we'll certainly be looking to activate that as soon as that is possible. Then we got Caleb Hilton, who's coming from the youth academy, 54 overall, gone up by 6 this season, plays better in the cam role rather than in central midfield, it seems. Does get amongst the goals and obviously assists where possible when he does play a little bit further forward. Then we got Stanley Howard, who we sent out on loan to Sligo Rovers for the back end of the season, and he's actually got our biggest growth in the team, probably because of that loan deal. He's gone up by 10 overall, so he'll be returning as a 55 overall rated left winger, but he can play pretty much anywhere across that front line. Next up we got Harry Honesty, another player that obviously has picked up a pretty serious injury, has gone up by 1 overall, now 30 years of age, has got quite a lot of players sat there in the background though, waiting and sniffing around to get the opportunity to take his first team place, so we'll see what happens when he returns to the fold. Then we got Tobiara Malaran, the archer himself, in amongst the goals, certainly in amongst the assists, got 53 overall and has gone up by 8 this season. Certainly one that we are going to be keeping around here for a long time at hashtag if we can, and I look forward to seeing what we can do with him in League One. Moving over to the right wing, we've got Alby Keith, 47 overall now, gone up by 5 this season. Unfortunately hasn't had the game time that really he would need to be able to impress himself on the squad, and so I will try and rectify that going into next season. It is very difficult when you've got such a batch of wing players. So to be honest, it might be that we send Alby out on a loan just to try and get him some football. And then next up we've got another right winger here in Joshua Suday. Again, a player that has been amongst the goals and amongst the assists. Can play right or left wing and has gone up by 6 overall this season to a 52. Dara Burns we bought in a swap deal with one of the youth academy players, and to be honest he's actually quite a decent player. I've set him up now to play as a right winger, but he can play in the other midfield area as well. Now up to a 54, and I'll try and get him some more game time next season. And then we move into a player that has really stunned me, to be quite honest. Karamoko Dembele, his ascent has been magnificent since we moved him out to the left hand side, having been playing him in his right wing position to start with. As soon as we moved him out left, it just completely changed how we operated with him, and that has been majorly where his growth has come from, I believe. As soon as we moved him out left wing, he sort of shot up, and so let's hope that overall of 71 won't make teams sniff around and make Celtic think twice about letting him go or recalling him from that loan deal that he's on at the moment. Okay, and then we've got Eusabio Tapia, an Argentinian player that was in our youth academy when we first started the career mode save. He's gone up by 8 overall this season and now sits at a 51. Was threatening to leave the club, so I decided that it was time to obviously give him that promotion. I am going to loan list him though, because we already have a glut of strikers or players that can play in that position. So I think that a year out on loan might actually be beneficial in terms of him being able to get the game time to improve that overall rating and really get him into the first team. But in that respect, Neil Richmond is also retiring at the end of this season. Gone down now to a 35 overall. Did get that crucial goal, if you remember, that we needed late in the season. but he has been a good servant for hashtag, but it is now time for him to hang up his boots. Joe Gregory, another player that filled in exceptionally well when we had the injury to George Smith earlier in the season and got himself amongst the goals, but as soon as Smithy came back, he could not get back into the team and get his scoring boots back on. And talking about Smithy, he has now gone up to a 53 overall, having gone up by 6 this season, and has scored himself 23 goals in total out of 35 appearances. So what a goal tally he has managed to get himself. Look at that racing in the FA Cup there, a 9.9 for Georgie Smith. Fantastic performances from him throughout the League 2 season, and to be honest, I'm really excited to see how he kicks on when we go up to League 1 next season. Okay, so in terms of the youth academy, we've got quite a stacked lineup here. In fact, we might end up having to bring either some of these players through and just loan them out, or obviously try and integrate them into the first team, or indeed they may go by the wayside. Most recent signings have been obviously from Sweden and the tour that Joel Cook had in South America. First up here we've got John Lind. He is a right back from Sweden, 18 years of age, up by 1 to 46. He has a potential between 62 and 80. We then move on to Vicente Rodriguez. He's another right back but also can play centre back. Overall of 51 with a potential of 72 to 76. Then we have Bruno Orozco from Peru. The 16-year-old central defensive midfielder can also play centre back. Has an overall of 52 and a potential between 79 to 85. Quite interested to see how he can get on. Then we move on to Kleber Ribaro, the Brazilian left midfielder, left winger, 51 overall with a potential between 67 to 79. Jan Holmberg is a central midfielder who can play central defensive midfield from Sweden, 44 overall. Only 16 years of age at this stage, but has a potential between 71 to 79. Then we move on to Alexander Swift. He's been around for a little while and as you can see has gone up by 8 overall to a 53. Has a potential between 60 to 64 and he's currently being trained as a centre forward. At 17 years of age, he's kind of hitting his stride right now. Dynamic potential would probably be the only thing that will mean that he would have some serious game time for the tags, but he is a player that we could perhaps bring in to sell off and grab ourselves a little bit of cash. Then we move on to another Peruvian, Alex Quintero, 52 overall, can play as a cam or centre forward and has a decent potential between 71 to 75. Then we have Roman Schofield, another player that has been around for a little while, 16 years of age, left winger, can play left midfield as well, 50 overall, potential of 68 to 72. We then move on to Albert Jenkins, another player that's been around for quite some time but has grown by 7 overall to a 52, but his potential is quite low, between 58 to 62, so we may just bring him in and sell him on, but you guys let me know what you want to do down in the comment section. Henrik Nyberg, another one of the Swedes that has arrived. He's a right winger, left midfield, centre mid, so a very versatile player, 48 overall, but has a decent potential between 72 to 76, so I'm interested to see where he can fit in. He's followed up by Cali Lundgren, 17-year-old right winger from Sweden, 49 overall, has a potential of 73 to 77. And then we have Julian Muller, a player that has been here since the start of the season, 16 years of age, from Liechtenstein, can play right or left wing and has gone up by 4 overall this season to a 47. Potential quite low, between 66 to 70, but could probably do a job or may indeed come in and be sold off. Another player that's been here from the start is Samar Misail, the Algerian centre forward, can play as a striker as well. 16 years of age, has gone up quite a lot this season from a 45 to a 53 and has a decent potential between 67 and 71. Do think that we might be bringing him in maybe next season when he turns 17 and then trying to perhaps get him a loan deal so that we can get that potential up in the meantime whilst we grow the rest of the first team squad. Strikers are hard to come by in the youth academy. but we have managed to find one here in Brandon Williams. The Canadian has 45 overall and a potential between 63 and 67. So he might not be the overall answer, but he might well be able to fill in from time to time. We'll see how he develops here in the Youth Academy. And then last up we have another Brazilian here. Has a low overall but a decent potential between 68 to 86. I'm interested to see how Cleveris does in terms of growth. I'm actually really thinking about promoting him and then sending him out on loan, so just won't get the game time here at hashtag this season. Obviously we do need him to get some decent growth under his belt. He is 21 already. So there we have it guys, first team and Youth Academy that we have at our disposal going into Season 2. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below as who we might promote from the Youth Academy. And if you have anybody that you think we might be able to sign going into League One. I can tell you now though, we are going to have to do similar to what we did this season in terms of loans, because we aren't going to get a great deal of money when we go up to League One. The board is holding a lot of money back, and the reason for that is that we are looking to move stadium. So I hope you've enjoyed this look through the squad. If you have, don't forget to smash the like button and also subscribe to the channel if you're new and raring for us to go into Season 2. There is going to be a short break whilst I do prepare the save for Season 2. A journey that I really look forward to taking with you guys. But for now, I'm out of here.